Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another review. Today we have the Walther PPK. This cool little pistol we're going to be taking a look at today. It is a gas blowback. Use duster gas or green gas. 6mm BB, and it is licensed by Umarex to use the Walther trademarks. And this one is currently pretty much sold. The person who's going to buy it has okayed me to go ahead and open it up and do the review. Like a brand new pistol. So you're going to see the instructions in there. Multiple languages. You're going to see the pistol nicely wrapped up, and it comes with a package of BBs and this little plastic rod here. I'll set that aside. Here we can see this pistol is brand new. It's got a little bit of oil on it from packaging, as you can see on the side there. Sometimes they come a little over oiled up, but it's better than under-oiled, I guess. And you can see with the safety on. Now this pistol is a double single action pistol. Take it off the safety there. It might have a little gas in it, so we'll aim it in a safe direction. Alright, there we go. Now, meaning double single action, for those who don't know, is if double action is if you pull the trigger, it will operate the hammer. And you can put this into single action too as well. By pulling the hammer back, as you can see, it pulls the trigger back too, and then dropping it. Now this safety also functions as a decocking lever, meaning that when the trigger is pulled back and you want to put it on safe, it will drop the hammer, but not all the way, so that when you take it off, it drops the hammer back down and you're back in a double action mode. Okay, so the Walther PPK, it was originally, this German pistol was originally a design all the way back to the 30s, man. So this is a pretty classic design. The original PP was a little longer. The K stands for Kurz, I believe, in German. That's Kurz means short. And this is just I gotta say, this is one of the most comfortable pistols I've ever held. It's just, I don't know. I mean, the grip is pretty thick. I can measure it real quick. So it is. Get my caliper out here. It's 1.3 inches. It's a little bit thinner than say like an M9 grip. Most people are familiar with the M9, so it's got a little bit of a chunkness to the grip, but it's just, I don't know, man, it feels really good. It just fits my hand perfectly. I'm a medium-sized hand. I'm 5'8", so I'm not too big, but it really feels awesome, I gotta say. This pistol really surprised me. I didn't really think much of the PPK, honestly. It wasn't on my top list, but I'm sorry that I have to sell this thing, really. Especially it being brand new. But there's always something else you want to buy. So anyway, for the features, like I said, this is a double single action trigger. It is Japanese Maruzen, which is good quality. And being Japanese, it is going to be made of plastic. That's one of the only drawbacks I found of this pistol. That and the limited parts availability. The slide is plastic. The base is the receiver or the grip is plastic. The grips are plastic. The frame and the slide. I believe the safety, the hammer, the magazine, the trigger, the release, the inner barrel, it's all metal. It does have fixed sights. They are not removable, but they get the job done. It's a decent sight picture. You can just put a little white paint on there. It's easy enough. Just get the model paint. Other than that, it's waved on top here. I found out that this wave, this cut of a wave is there to reduce glare when you're aiming. On the top strap, it does have I said it's a slide-mounted safety decocker. And it's got like a standard scaling on the slide, similar to that of a 1911. It's just straight up and down. It does have a thumb release magazine. Unlike some of the old European pistols, they have them on the bottom. but it's mounted on the side here. And like I said, this is a metal magazine. It's pretty easy to load, and it's got a notch here. It loads in from the top. Just pull this thing down, pull it to the side, and it locks into the to a notch right there, so you can load your BBs in very easily there. And I believe this holds 22 rounds. So, and it's got this extra little base plate here, which makes it very, very comfortable. You can remove this, but you don't need to, and you don't need to take it off to refill it either. So that's nice. The hop-up is non-adjustable on this thing, and it does have an internal slide stop that we're going to go into when I want to do a takedown on this thing. So the stats, this thing says it's from the factory. It says 0.8 pounds. I'm going to weight on the scale and double check that for you. And the velocity, it says 350 feet per second from the factory. I'm also going to chrono that. I'm going to check it with propane just to get the full scoop. And this gun, it does have, I believe, lead weights inside the grip when you take it off. So that's another thing that gives it a pretty good feel, even though it's an all-plastic pistol. Like I said, it does feel good, and it's pretty damn well suited for concealability. I have an Elite Survival Systems holster right here, and it fits in here pretty well. I mean, it gets in there pretty good. Pretty good for concealability. Probably one of the best. But let's get into a takedown, and then we can go and check the other stats. Alright, so now I get into the breakdown. Of course, you remove the magazine. What you're going to want to do, the way this disassembles, is this the trigger guard. It pulls down, just hold that down. It snaps back up, so just hold it down. Rack the slide back. Lift the rear end of it up, and just pull it off. You can see the spring is around the barrel itself, and the barrel, this is what they call a true blowback, because the barrel is it's pinned right into the frame. And what you'll notice is that there's no slide catch. It's an internal slide stop. It has this piece is the slide stop, so when the magazine's empty, of course, this little tab is going to push up on this internal slide stop, like so. Of course, it didn't catch it. It's not going to catch it very well because it's probably, you have to hold this down with your finger, and it pushes it up and it locks the slide back. Then to release the slide, you have to pretty much take out the magazine and then drop the slide so it releases it. Assuming that you're going to load it anyway, so that takes care of that one. But be careful, when you set this down, this thing can easily come out, and this spring will just jump right off. So if you're going to set it down like that, just be very careful of this spring inside here. If you can see it right there, that little spring right there. That thing will jump across the room, and you cannot get that spring. I've tried. You cannot get that spring, so be very careful of that. Pretty much anything on the on this is the P99. I'm pretty sure the P99 too, but I know for this one you can't really get that many parts for it, so be careful. So actually, let's take a look inside here. It's pretty much just the barrel. It's not. I believe I said it was a non-adjustable hop-up, although it does have a hop-up. I don't know if you can see it very well in there. A little nub right at the top there. And other than that, like I said, it's got plastic grips. You can see the weights in there. If you can see that gray color, those are the weights. Now we'll reassemble it. Just do the opposite. As you put the spring on it first, there is a plastic barrel piece inside here too that can come out, so be careful for that. Make sure to hold the trigger guard down, slide it back on, pop the trigger guard back up, and that's it. So it's pretty easy. There's not too much to lose, like I said, except for that internal slide stop. Other than that, that's basically it for your field strip. Now, as for the weights, like I said, I'm going to go It's 0.8 pounds from the factory, and we're gonna go weigh on the triple beam balance right now. So as we can see, it's 375 pounds. I'm sorry, yeah, 375 grams, and unless my math is off, this is about 1.2 pounds. So a chrono test, and we're gonna do it with a Big Dragon, the E9800 Plus. I'm gonna use 0.2 gram BBs since that seems to be the industry standard, the Elite Force, non-biodegradable, and we're gonna be using, I'm gonna be using the Burns-O-Matic propane, and I have dropped oil in this. You can use anything from RC shock fluid if you get a light one, or a little bit thicker one, doesn't really matter, or the silicone one that comes with the guns. You know, KWA comes with silicone. It doesn't matter as long as it's 100% silicone. There's no petroleum distillates in it. Petroleum, which is gonna break down, break up plastic and rubber O-rings. So, just to show you, we'll do it on camera here. And this is a small magazine, so it's not like it's a big high kappa mag that it's gonna store, you know, a bunch of propane. And this does not have the O-ring in it because you'll hear air rushing out of this. It's not. It doesn't mean it's broken. It just means that there's not a great seal between the tip of the plastic the plastic adapter and the area around the valve. So where's my speed loader? It's actually pretty easy to load this thing. Like I said, you just pull it down. Push it down to the side. It holds pretty well. I'm not going to fill up the mag. You can see it's double stacked. That's how the magazine is. It's got a very wide opening at the top. And you know, this is all one piece metal. There's no separate plastic lip there. Yeah, just where it meets the underneath of the nozzle. It's a pretty simple magazine, but it is all metal, which is cool. Get the cross. Is going to be kind of awkward doing it there. But just, I don't know if you guys can see that. 307. .236. 234. So not too bad for a little pistol with such a small magazine. I mean, it's still almost in the mid 200s on average, so it's not that bad. The peak per second was in the mid 200s with 0.2 gram BBs. And especially for a little magazine and such a small gun, such a short barrel. I mean, this is it's a pretty impressive gun. I gotta say, it's I'd say it's worth the money. If you get the, I don't know, whatever it is, 140 bucks for these things new. I'd say it's pretty worth it. Again, it is all plastic. That can be a drawback for some people. I'd say it's not that bad. It still has good weight to it, and it still works pretty damn good. So I gotta give it a thumbs up for the Walther PPK. Thanks for watching, guys.